we've got Evan Slavitt, who is in-house counsel, who can discuss what he believes from the in-house counsel perspective, the value to him of the Unidroit Principles, and hearing from his outside counsel the utilization of that. And so with that, Evan, I want to turn to you. And, with respect to what Eckhart just said, what do you have to say about that? And secondly, to what extent do you even use the Unidroit Principles? Can you share that with us?
Sure. I was converted to the Unidroit Principles some years ago by Eckhart because it solved or helps to solve a problem that I face all the time in my practice as an in-house counsel, which is paper excellence. In my previous company, Kyocera AVX Corporation, are both international companies that do a lot of international contracting. And one of the annoying parts of international contracting is dealing with all the stuff in the back of the contract that lawyers care about and the business people just want to get done. And one of the problems that I faced was that I have a United States background and the companies are United States companies. But we deal with people who are not only in different countries, but have a fundamentally different approach to how they think about contract interpretation and how they think about the legal framework. And so it was always a tug of war. They wanted, let's say, Germany. I wanted the United States. Sometimes we would compromise on something like United Kingdom, which was semi-unsatisfactory for everybody. Or we'd pick a country that neither of us was familiar with, like France or Switzerland, just on the theory that at least it wasn't our home country. But again, those were unsatisfactory because all we're doing is we're sort of randomly picking a different framework. And I found that using the Unidroit Principles as a proposal, because they sort of are a confluence of the Anglo-American approach and the continental approach, that simplified things because we were picking a choice of law that was neither mine nor theirs, but was a coherent approach that we could even tweak if we needed to, but allowed us to settle on a set of contractual principles that was a compromise that was designed specifically for this purpose. And so I found that while it's still something of a sales process, because not everybody in the world is familiar with the principles, if I use that as a starting point, it's a much more productive way of going than if I simply, I write in, US law, they write in German law, and then we just wrangle about it. So from my perspective, it gives us a substantial step up. And I'm sure Eckhart will expand on this, but I also use it in conjunction with an arbitration clause. And that allows us to set up an arbitration clause where the choice of law that the arbitrators are going to use is again a compromise. And we start out from that point of view, and that is a much more congenial approach. So that's why I found it very helpful.